The last full moon, Jupiter was still in Pisces. This full moon, Jupiter is back in Aquarius. It has retrograded back into Aquarius. Jupiter comes in and it brings like light and hope and faith to things. So what this is telling me is that the last full moon in Aquarius, we really need to hunker down and sort of situate ourselves, because it was just Saturn there. And now that Jupiter is there, it's like, okay, we've situated ourselves and we still need to let go of things, but there's like a rekindling of hope and faith somehow there. Now we've made so much room due to the last full moon that we now have room to expand a little bit. And so Jupiter is retrograded back now to be like, remember that thing that you kept saying that you wanted to do, that you needed to reorganize your life a little bit in order to do it? Like, I'm gonna bring that back to you. Here is the hope and faith necessary to, to reinvigorate your spirits around it. Here you go. Hi, I'm Amber Jay of AmberJaylightstheway. I am an astrologer and writer here in Los Angeles, California. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the full moon in Aquarius coming up on August 22nd, 2021. This is a really interesting and wonderful full moon because it's happening at a critical degree of Aquarius. It's happening at 29 degrees Aquarius, which is the last degree Aquarius has until, boom, Pisces starts. And it's also the second full moon that we're having in Aquarius in a row. So yeah, we're feeling really heavy on the Aquarius energy when it comes to the things that full moons rule over, which is releasing, shedding, evolving, shining light onto things that previously were very hard to see. When it's a full moon at night, the moon is big and bright in the sky, and it allows us to see things in the dark that we normally couldn't see very well. So full moons are a time to release, a time to gain insight and intuition, a time to ask the universe to show you what you need clarity on, so that you can sort of drop your baggage and move on, having a new sense of conviction to go in a certain direction, because you can see things for what they are now. So that is why I wanted to tell you guys 3 things you should focus on releasing in order to get the best of this full moon. So the first thing that I wanted to tell you guys to release with this full moon has to do with the full moon's conjunction to Jupiter. So this full moon is happening, like I said, on the Aquarius Leo axis. So Aquarius and Leo really focus on the individual. That axis of energy wants you to understand that you are unique because you are special, and that no one else is going to be able to do it like you. If you are creating from a place of authenticity, then there is just no one on this earth that's going to be able to give the world the same energy that you have. So with Jupiter here, so basically Jupiter is in Aquarius and it is retrograde in Aquarius. So it is opposite the sun, but it's conjunct the moon. So with a full moon here with this type of aspect, you want to release anything that is preventing you from fully expanding yourself and what you know to be your gifts that you have to bring to the world, which means you have to be yourself by accepting all of the parts of yourself that you maybe have been taught that aren't acceptable, or that you've been taught are weird, or that you've been taught you should sort of keep to yourself because other people might not like it. With Jupiter here, it's like, no, it's time for the self, yourself, to grow and expand, and for it to be seen, because that's what we need in our society. You being yourself is what's going to rekindle that hope and that faith that is pertinent to not only your own advancement and your own ability to live your life authentically, but for everyone else's ability to move and advance. Or like, come on, it's like the universe is saying, we're waiting for you. We're waiting for you to step into yourself. We're waiting for you to be yourself. So that is the number one thing, or not the number one thing. It depends on what your priorities are, I guess, for this full moon. But the first thing is this full moon's conjunction with Jupiter. It's going to be pretty important. So the next aspect that is coinciding with this full moon that I wanted to talk about is Venus trine Saturn. So this is really cool. So Saturn is retrograde right now in Aquarius, where it's very strong. Saturn rules Aquarius traditionally. Saturn is kind of at home right now, and Venus is also at home. She has just literally a day ago just moved into Libra, where she is the ruler. And Libra rules over connection and balance and how we are able to relate to one another. It really takes into account the other. And you know, it rules over a lot of things that have to do with beauty and you know, pure like passionate romance, sweetness and kindness and things like that. Some things that you would do for another, for a loved one, for a partner. And so what's interesting about their interaction is that so when planets interact with each other, how they interact with each other doesn't just have to do with the aspect. For the aspect here is a trine, which is a harmonious aspect, but it does have to do also with what sign that the planets are in. So with Venus trining Saturn and Venus being in Libra, exalts Saturn. Saturn really likes relationships. Saturn says that, you know, we do need each other to create stronger bonds. And you know, Saturn is all about strength and bonds and boundaries, etc., etc., good structures, right? So if something is trining Saturn from Libra, Saturn is like, ooh, I really like the energy that, you know, this particular planet is putting out. So this is kind of good for me. Not only is this aspect easy because it's a trine, but I super like the energy that they're putting out, like on a personal level. This is Saturn, right? Talking to Venus and Libra. He's like, ooh, like, you know what, Venus, like I always love when you enter the third sign away from me, but this particular time you're looking especially beautiful. Like I'm really gonna help you out. Basically, that's how this conversation is going, right? So Saturn trining Venus in Libra really puts a Saturnian blessing upon our relationships, right? Because Venus rules over love and relationships, Libra rules over love and relationships. So obviously this has something to do with love and relationships. But Saturn, being in Aquarius where it's strong, can give Venus its specific type of blessing. And Saturn blesses things the way Saturn blesses things. It blesses things with structure and longevity and endurance, the ability to withstand, you know, kind of the test of time, because Saturn does rule over time. So this is an amazing time to release any baggage that you have around love and relationships that are long-term, healthy, and stable. So if you find that you're a person, you know, that really wants to be in a long-term healthy relationship, but you find that you kind of spaz out whenever you do receive love, like if you are like, oh, you know, woe is me, I wish I had love, I wish I had somebody to love, this, that, and the other. And when love is being given to you, you kind of freak out or get suspicious or get distrustful or, you know, things like that. Like this is a time to release those behaviors so that you can welcome in some really good, healthy, you know, committed love that you can work on, that you can practice over time, that you can see grow over time. And then the third aspect that I'm going to focus on for things to release during this full moon. So we're going to have Uranus square Mars. So right now, square, I meant trine. We're going to have Uranus trine Mars. So right now, Mars is in the sign of Virgo. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, where it's been there and it's going to stay there for a little hot minute. Basically, when Uranus touches something, it wants to break it up, right? We've talked about this before. It wants to break it up, make it more authentic, get to the heart of the matter, get to your truth, you know, and Mars wants to invigorate, wants to give energy and infuse something with passion. So when they're trine and they're on the same page and they're trine in earth signs, this is about you doing something concrete. So Taurus is like your resources, Virgo is like your daily life, like your daily habits and your routines and how you know, care for your body, how you use your physical body, especially with Mars there. Mars does rule over, you know, your physical body. And so when they're trying, they kind of have the same agenda of like All right, let's break all this stuff up so that everybody can gain the energy that they need to like do the things that they really want to do, So you want to use this aspect of this part of the full moon to release anything holding you back from having like the self-discipline necessary to do the things that you know you want to do. The things that have been beating at your door, that's like, come on, get up, do it, let's go. And then maybe you distract yourself by getting on social media, or you distract yourself watching TV, or you distract yourself with work and you say, oh, I just don't have the energy because like, you know, I have this work thing to do, you know, which is all well and good, but you know, at some point, Uranus and Mars basically say at some point you have to either say that, you know, you're committed to doing this thing and you're gonna do it, even if it's really, really small, even if you don't think you're making a lot of progress, like even if it's just a little bit of something every day, or that's it. And of course, Uranus and Mars don't want you to just say that's it and give up. They want you to do it. So this is a great full moon to release anything that is stopping you from having self-discipline that's like passionate. You're like, I'm gonna do this thing because I know that my life is going to be better when I do the things that I love to do. Not because like you're harping on yourself or you're being self-critical of yourself, like I'm gonna have self-discipline because otherwise I'm a failure. Like, no, that's not what this is saying. This is saying like, I'm gonna have self-discipline because I know that this is the thing that I'm meant to do, or these are the things that I'm meant to be doing. Or it may not look like I have a lot of resources, but I am gonna work with what I have. Like I am gonna work with what I've got. I know better things are coming to me. I know more resources are coming to me as long as I keep doing, you know, the thing that I love, the thing that makes me feel passionate and energized. So that is the third thing. That's the third aspect, which I find really, really exciting. Yeah, so before I leave you guys, I do want to just tell you 3 ways to release. My favorite is burning. The use of fire is alchemical. It literally takes your piece of paper that you write down all of your releasings on, and it burns it and transforms it into something else. And that is my intention with my releasings. I am trying to let it go out of my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual body and transform it into light energy in the universe that can be used for anything. The next way that you can release is in the bath or showering, because water is very, very powerful. So all you gotta do is speak your releasings as you're bathing or showering and just say, I release such and such and such and such, and that's it. And the water will carry it away from you, will carry your energy away from you, because all you're doing is speaking with the water and asking it to work with you, and water will oblige. You can't do any of those things. You can always speak aloud because your words are very, very powerful. So if you can speak aloud, I release this, that, and the other, you know, words are spells and they're very powerful. So that can be an effective tool for releasing as well. Or you can do all 3. If you really want to, you know, get that shit away from you, you can just do all 3. But that's it. That's all I have for you for this very powerful full moon in Aquarius. Again, my name is Amber Jay. You can find me on Instagram for Daily Astro over at amberjaylightstheway, which is down in the description box below, or you can find me on my personal Instagram, which is amberc like cat JAY. I'll be back with another video soon. Bye.